All right, sir. I can't say this all the time, but I'm fairly certain that I will not see you in this capacity again in the future. Okay, so we are going to go on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Darien Shoulders 23983. And appearance, counsel?
Israel Goldman on behalf of Mr. Shoulders, who is obviously not an attorney here, because he said 45 minutes and got here at 20.
Yes, you go with actual time. All right, so your name, sir, please.
Darien Shoulders.
All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And the court will know that we do have Ms. Caperton present as well. And so I will hear from her in just a few moments, but today's the date scheduled for sentencing on your client's plea to an amended charge of malicious destruction of property less than $200. And counsel, did you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation?
I did. We don't have any corrections to make, Your Honor.
No corrections, okay. Ma'am, if you would like to step forward.
Can I correct you? You said less than 200?
No, that was the amended
Oh,
charge.
okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you step forward here to the podium, please. Okay. And ma'am, if you could please state and spell your first and last names for the record.
Tammy Caperton, TAMMY CAPERTON.
Okay, thank you. All right, and so you received notice regarding today's proceedings,
Right.
and you're the owner of the vehicle that was damaged, correct?
I don't own it any longer. It was a leased vehicle. I only had it for 5 months and I had to turn it in this past February and get another vehicle.
Okay. And so the court will know that this matter did occur June of 2020.
Correct.
It took a while for this to come back from the prosecutor's office. And so ma'am, what would you like the court to know regarding this matter?
I mainly just want to get my, I had to pay $1,000 out of my pocket. I just want to get that back. And I know Darien, he went to school with my daughter, so I don't want him to have, I just want him to have a life, so I don't want him, I want him to take this as a example of how you should live your life.
Okay.
And I feel like wherever that liquor bottle came from, he was underage back then, so. You know, I don't know if these stores are selling liquor, and in fact, you guys are building a liquor store across from my house.
You say you guys, I don't know.
I mean, the city of Wyandotte.
The city is building a liquor store?
Yes, it's connected to that gas station right there on the corner.
Which,
That's where I live at.
okay.
And you know,
There's a liquor store being built?
they're building it there, you know, they're leasing that property. And I got a letter in the mail saying they're putting a liquor store there, so how are my vehicles?
Right outside the courthouse?
Yes.
Oh, that wasn't what I thought was going there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was some drive-through going there.
For a liquor store.
No, I didn't think it was that, but
Oh, that's what, I got a letter in the mail if I wanted to go to court and contest or, anyway,
okay.
I have a 23-year-old and she drinks. And, you know, this is killing these kids. I don't want him to have anything, I just want to get my money back and whatever they, you know, whatever they recommended to him, he should do and do it with a clear mind and, you know, just go on with his life and have a good life.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you coming in today. Okay, and so Mr. Goldman?
So, Your Honor, you know, we see enough of these with bad blood and bad faith and people wishing ill on one another. So I think we have to take advantage when there's goodwill, you know, between the parties. I just want the court to know how this happened. They closed it, the police closed this case because nobody saw anybody do anything. We only had a victim with a broken window and that's it. So there would be nothing to have an exam on. They couldn't connect it up. And then Mr. Shoulders applied for a CPL license at which point his fingerprints got into the system and they made a match. And that's why the case may have happened in 2020, but we didn't hear about it until 2023. So, again, this is another one that I was going to have an exam on because I think the matching, the fingerprint science is a little iffy to me. But be that as it may, Mr. Childers was offered a misdemeanor and YTA, and it was something that he felt was appropriate to accept. In this interim, he's going to explain to the court that he has become an adult, much more responsible, doesn't do things like this anymore, doesn't go with people that would do things like this anymore. The full-time employed, good stuff. So I do think he's exactly who YTA is intended for, and he's on a good path. And I don't think the court will have any trouble from him in the future. And he does want to say a couple of things.
Okay. All right.
I actually did want to apologize for the situation. It happened years ago. And since then, I've actually been to school, started a career, started a family actually. And I know for a fact from the future you won't hear from me again. And I was very young and stupid and made poor decisions. And since then, I've gained a lot of, I've grown a lot from that. And really on track, I started my career and I love it. And that's all I really care about, honestly, working out or there's some success. So from here on out, I know you won't hear from me. And I apologize for the whole situation.
Okay. All right. And you're in HVAC tech, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And you obviously enjoy that type of work. Good. Good. All right. So here's what the court's going to indicate. The court counsel would agree that this is exactly who this type of individual that the status is intended for. The court will, or does find after hearing from counsel, hearing from Mr. Shoulders, hearing from Ms. Caperton, that there is reasonable grounds to park on scale 769.5. The court's going to indicate that you are eligible for Home Youthful Training Act status, that you are eligible for early discharge. The court does find that 12 months probation is appropriate. Obviously, you can request early discharge, but there does have to be a probation period, especially because of the status. So you're not to violate any criminal law of any unit of government. You're not to leave the state without the consent of the court. You are to report truthfully to your probation officer as often as your probation officer may require. In person, writing, or virtually. You're to notify your probation officer immediately of any change in address or employment status. You're not to use any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. You'll be subjected to random testing. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is so the court can just make sure that we're monitoring your progress in maintaining sobriety in abstinence. You're not to have any assaultive, intimidating, abusive, threatening, harassing contact with Ms. Caperton. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to ensure the safety of the victim and reduce recidivism. The court's going to indicate you're to pay restitution amount of $1,000. I didn't hear any dispute to that, correct, counsel?
No, it was part of the deal anyway.
I'm sorry?
It was part of the deal.
Okay. And then the court's going to also indicate $70 hours of community service. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to give back to the community. And any questions regarding those terms and conditions?
My community service is probation officers. About that.
Yes, your probation officer will give you more information about that, but if you, they can give you some examples or some leads on places, but if you have a place that you find on your own, just contact your probation officer to confirm that that would be acceptable, and then you can do that. Okay. All right. As to the fines, the court's going to indicate a $300 fine, $100 screening assessment fee. $600 supervision oversight fee. That's $50 a month at 12 months. Since you're eligible for early discharge, up to $300 of that may not be due, okay? $200 for the cost of prosecution, crime victim assessment fee of $75, justice system assessment fee of $50, and then the restitution of $1,000. So I'm going to indicate, including the restitution of $1,000 is $2,325. It was $1,325 prior to the restitution, okay? And how much of that can you pay per month? And what day of the month works best?
So Your Honor, he had intended to pay the restitution today,
Oh, the restitution of full today?
just take care of that.
Okay.
And then pay monthly on the bonds.
Okay, then I will indicate that $1,000 today. $1,325, and $300 of that may not be due. If you discharge early, up to $300 will not be due.
150 a month?
Okay,
20th of the month.
okay, beginning October 20th or September 20th, which is, okay. All right, $150 per month on the balance of $1,325 beginning October 20th. And the court, as it did indicate, sir, will state that you do have the right to request early discharge so long as all the following have occurred. You completed at least half of your original term of probation. All probation requirements have been completed. You've had at least 3 months without any violations, and all monies have been either paid in full or you've made good faith effort toward making full payment. Okay? All right, any questions?
Then Your Honor.
All right, sir. I can't say this all the time, but I'm fairly certain that I will not see you in this capacity again in the future. I believe what you're indicating, and given the action since this offense occurred, and your remorse, and even more so, you are clearly intent on making Ms. Caperton whole, as you've already come to court with your restitution to pay in full, which is extremely rare. So I wish you well, sir, with your future, and I'm sure in just 6 short months, I'm going to be signing that discharge, and this will be dismissed pursuant to the HIDA status.
Thanks for that.
All right, have a good day. Good luck to you. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Have a good day. Thank you for coming in.